What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dylan Talks Tone. Today, we're going to do something kind of fun. This is a video that I've been thinking about doing for a while, and I was actually going to do it pre-recorded like a normal video. And then I was like, why don't we do it live? Because then it will be, people will hang out and we'll get some reaction on it and stuff. It'd be kind of fun. So I was thinking the other day about guitar myths, right? And so basically what I did was I made a post on our Facebook page at Dylan Talks Tone, and I said, hey, what are some guitar myths that you all can think of? And I thought, let's type them into Chat GPT and see what comes out. Because kind of the way this works is it's just kind of a compilation of everything that's on the internet, right? And so I don't know that this is necessarily going to prove anything, except that we're going to have fun. It's going to be hilarious. We are probably going to make some people mad because we're going to look at some myths because this is going to tell us kind of what's predominantly out there, right? And so I thought this would just be kind of fun. I've got a few questions here from the Facebook page that I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste in, and we're going to see how it goes. I think it's going to be great. This is an ad-free live stream. Since it's live, it's ad-free, so you can use a super chat, you can do whatever, and we'll get going on this. It's going to be kind of fun. And then at the end, I've got a couple of things I want to show you that we've got going over here at Dylan Talks Tone that I think you're really going to dig. Before we get into the actual questions, the reason I'm using ChatGPT is because, well, it's easy. And like we were just saying, basically these language learning models, all they are is really like just compiling data that's already out there, right? And so I don't want to say there's nothing artificial about it, but it's just kind of, this is what the prevailing opinions of these various questions are. Let's look at what they are versus what science is that we know. Some of it we don't know, some of it we do, and just have a conversation about it. I think this is going to be super fun. I don't know why, but why not, really? So let's go ahead and pull up some Chat GPT-ness here, and we'll dive right in. Let me... whoops. Oh, dang it. Hang on. Here we go. I think what I need to do... Okay. ChatGPT question. Can you damage a guitar neck if you cut the strings off all at once? Let's see. It's not likely to damage the neck under normal circumstances. However, it's generally not the best practice for a couple of reasons. String tension, designed to handle the tension of the strings, which is applied gradually and evenly. Cutting them removes all the tension abruptly, which might cause a sudden shift or movement in the neck. While modern guitars are built to withstand this kind of stress, correct, it can potentially lead to a minor warping or adjustment issue over time. Not correct. Especially if the neck was already under stress or not properly adjusted. Well, okay, I'll give you that one. If your guitar's neck is under significant tension or if the truss rod needs adjustment, cutting all the strings at once can change the neck's curvature suddenly. This might require a truss rod adjustment to get the neck back to its optimal playing condition. So they recommend removing and changing the strings gradually. Okay, so that's an interesting one. Let's dive into that just a little bit. Basically, it doesn't shock the guitar as much as you think it does. That's kind of dumb. The guitar only moves a couple of thousandths, like most modern guitars anyway. Now, if you have an old guitar, really old guitar that's fragile, you might want to have a little bit more caution when you do this. But any modern guitar, and you could see this because you can actually, for example, if you put straight edge on a neck and you set it completely flat and then you put the strings on it, okay, and then you check the neck relief without doing anything, you'll notice that it only moves a couple of thousandths of an inch if it's a good guitar. If it's a cheap crap guitar, it might move around a bunch, but it will move around a bunch anyway, even if you have strings on it or not, so it doesn't matter. What I would recommend not doing is leaving strings off the guitar for an extended period of time. That will do damage to the guitar because it's not designed to not have strings on it. So that's one that I would definitely go with. Let's see. Let me do this differently this time so that we don't give away my screen. Okay, so here is the next one. This is going to be fun. Y'all are going to love this. What is the best finish for an electric guitar? This is going to be fun. Now, I took these from Facebook, so this is stuff I want to talk about. This is stuff y'all want to talk about. Polyurethane, highly durable, resistant to scratches. Oh, come on. We could be smarter if we logged in. Resistant to scratches, protects against moisture and temperature changes. Yep. Less likely to yellow over time. Yep. Yep, definitely. Can be less breathable. Ooh. And might not enhance the natural tone of the wood as much as other finishes. Pros, often favored for its thin, breathable nature that can enhance the tonal qualities of the wood. I knew it was going to go here. It also ages beautifully, developing a vintage patina over time. It's less durable, prone to scratches, requires more maintenance. And then, of course, it gets into oil and wax and satin. And nobody cares about those if you actually know how to paint a guitar. So that's a funny one. I knew that one was going to be like that. That was kind of a given that you were going to go down that road with that, right? So, is nitrocellulose breathable? No, actually, it's not. If you were to spray nitrocellulose onto a flat surface, peel it up, and try to breathe through it, you would not be able to. It does not breathe. Nitrocellulose is actually pretty brittle. That's why it cracks when you have expansion and contraction of wood from heat and cold. That whole breathable thing is stupid. It just doesn't. What it does also not do is, depending on the type, never actually cures. So you can have trouble with it. Does that mean it's not cool? No, I would totally prefer nitrocellulose finish over polyurethane finish, not because of the thickness. It's not because of the thickness. It just feels different. That's why I like a Gibson guitar, for example, or a higher end Fender guitar, because it's got the nitrocellulose finish and it feels good. I like how it feels. So it has nothing to do with the tone. That's a thing. The other misconception about this is the thickness of the finish. Back in the 50s and 60s, well, okay, that's going a little far. Back in the late 70s and early 80s, paint development and technology was not where it is today. They were trying to lower the VOC of sprayed paint, and so they were doing all these various things. Paint was very thick. Paint was very viscous because they didn't want it to be flying around in the air. Basically, they were trying to lower the pollution from it. So paint formulations were changing. I was in this business, and it was a pain. Paint was falling off of stuff. Remember white Chevy trucks with the paint that flew off of it? Water-based primers, all this kind of stuff. They were really trying to get a handle on it. So during that time, yeah, there was probably some pretty thick finishes. But in 2024, a urethane finish is no thicker than a nitrocellulose finish. In fact, depending on the sealer that's used underneath the nitrocellulose finish, there's zero difference at all, and it might actually be thinner. So that's an interesting one. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. I like that question. Hang on one second. Let's go. Let me see. Did I? Okay, here we go. Do heavier strings give you better guitar tone? Hang on one second. I'm copying and pasting. Let me just get this copied and pasted. And then what I'm doing is copying and pasting it, bringing you back, and then hitting the button so you can see what it says right along with me. I didn't do this ahead of time. This is like real time. Well, man, hang on. Sorry, choked on my own spit or something. Okay, heavier gauge guitar strings. There we go. Okay, heavier gauge guitar strings can influence tone, but whether you give a give you a better tone depends on your personal preference. Okay, so tone quality. Fuller sound. Heavier gauge strings often produce a richer, fuller tone with more pronounced low end and mid-range frequencies. I 100% disagree with this. You can argue about this all you want, but this is dumb. This can be beneficial for styles like metal or blues, where a thicker sound is desirable. So thicker strings, thicker tone. Stupid. Heavier strings can offer more sustain and harmonic richness. Also dumb. Tuning stability, maybe if you're not a ham fist. Playability, resistance. Yeah, okay. Action and setup. Obviously, you need to change the setup on your guitar. Dynamics, volume and power. Heavier strings can produce a louder sound due to their increased mass, which can be useful in achieving a more powerful tone. This is 100% false, and there is a lot of folks that will argue that, but at the same time, you also know that there's a lot of music made with sounds and with strings that are, ZZ Top, right? Yeah, super fun. Let's see. See if there's any questions in here. What would be a long period of time? Days, weeks, years. For urethane, sometimes it'll never dry. Yeah, sometimes urethane will, nitrocellulose will never dry. All right, we're gonna save tone wood for later. But let's dive into this one. Does the fretboard material make a difference in your guitar tone? I think this is going to elicit some responses, wouldn't you? All right, hang on. All right, so let's bring you back and hit the button. Does fretboard, this is almost like watching, what is that, Family Feud? Survey says, rosewood tends to offer a warm, rich sound with a strong mid-range presence. It's known for providing a smooth, somewhat mellow tone with good sustain. Okay. Rosewood fretboards genuinely have a smooth, oily feel that many players find comfortable. It's not as smooth as maple. I mean, it's not. It's a porous wood. It's an open pore wood. This doesn't even make sense. Okay, let's see. Maple. Brighter, more cutting tone with pronounced high-end frequencies. What, like that's not possible with a rosewood fretboard? Come on, man. This is funny. Sharp attack and more clarity in the high end. If you argue this, I would like to see your YouTube channel. I'm just saying. This is like what we were just talking about. Thicker strings, thicker tone, darker wood, darker tone. It's like that kind of thing. I don't get it. That's pretty funny. Ebony, bright, articulate tone with a lot of clarity and sustain. Fast, clean response. Well, here's the thing. It's a hard wood, but so is maple. So is rosewood. It's whatever. Okay. This is funny. I love it. This is great. This is pretty funny. Other exotic woods. So we're just going to put this in other, and then we're just going to say that they're fine. They all offer unique tonal characteristics. So if it's a different wood, it's going to sound different. Okay. All right. That's cool. All right. Whatever. I mean, this is what the prevailing opinions of the world are right now with it as it pertains to this stuff, which I think is pretty funny. Let's see. We did strings off all at once. Here we go. This is another one, good one. Do set neck guitars have more sustain than bolt-on neck guitars? This is going to be great. Because you know the answer already. Of course. Of course it does. All right, here we go. Ongoing debate. Both neck types have their own merits. Okay. The neck joint types, the tone transfer. Oh, here we go. The glued joint is often considered to provide a more stable and continuous connection. Because, okay. All right. Potentially leading to better sustain and resonance, bro. Wow. Potential benefits. The solid, uninterrupted connection of the set neck can improve sustain because it might facilitate a more efficient vibration transfer through the body. Oh, wow. Okay. Here we go. We're going down that road. Other factors like bodywood, neckwood, and construction quality also play significant roles. Bolt-on necks. They are attached with screws, not bolts, obviously, and can be removed or adjusted more easily. This can affect how vibrations are transferred between the neck and body if your neck pocket's like looser than your mom. Versatility. The ability to easily replace or adjust the neck can be seen as an advantage. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Potential limitations of sustain. The bolt-on neck joint might not be as seamlessly integrated as a set neck joint, which could theoretically, like that, affect sustain. However, many modern bolt-on guitars are designed to minimize these issues. This is fun. I love this. It's just funny because, there's no... okay, well, I'm going to tell you what I think about all this when we're done. We're all done. And we're almost done. We got one more. Because we might as well do. Does the wood in an electric guitar body make a difference in its tone? I mean, we might as well, right? Hang on, except I misspelled something here. Does the wood. Okay. Bringing you back. This is fun. I love it. Get smarter responses. I wonder if we'll get a different response if we were to log in. A smarter response. Oh, here we go. Mahogany. Warm and thick. But what if it's cut really thin? What if it's like a really thin mahogany body? Is the tone thinner? Resonant tone with strong mid-range. All right, cool. With good sustain and a pronounced low end. So here's my question. How can you have a strong mid-range and a good low end at the same time? Have a full sound. Okay, so if you have a full sound, then that's all of it. But you also have, you see what I'm saying here? Tone characteristics. Maple generally contributes a brighter, clearer tone, especially if you use a clear finish on it, because the wood is so light colored. With more pronounced highs and snappier attack. It's almost like this was cut and pasted from the fretboard one. It can add brightness and clarity to the overall sound, especially if you don't paint it a dark color. Let's see. Common use. Frequently used in the bodies of many Fender guitars like the Stratocaster and the Telecaster. Well, that's not right. We know that. Alder is that one. Alder provides a balanced tone. Sure. With a good blend of lows, mids, and highs. It tends to be less dense than mahogany. No. Which can result in a slightly lighter sound. Oh, so the guitar's lighter. So the sound is light. Okay, I got it. Okay. So it's all about the weight, really. Swamp Ash. Tone characteristics. Swamp Ash offers a bright, airy tone. Oh, it's inflatable. With good resonance and a pronounced high end. And it's also relatively lightweight. So airy, lightweight, helium, okay, cool. Often used in high-end Fender guitars and some custom builds. Basswood. Let's see. This is soft and mellow with a smooth mid-range. That's why a lot of metal players use it, I guess. Must be. Lighter weight and affordability. Yeah, that's why like really expensive guitars like what is that? The Ernie Ball Music Man the guy who looks like Jesus, from Dream Theater. His guitar's basswood, isn't it? One of them. One of his models. Not cheap. Yeah. Okay. And then neckwood, we went through all of that stuff already. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I love it. All right. So, why? Why do we even do this? This is hilarious. Super fun, right? The only one we didn't do, we probably should do, is does the shape of a guitar body affect the tone? Does the color? The reason I think this conversation is so funny is because who cares? Who cares? That's the real point. Who cares? If you spend time arguing about this stuff instead of laughing about it, you're spending your life wrong. Basically, you're spending time in your life incorrectly. This should be fun. And so that's why I wanted to do it, because I am sure there's going to be a comment section full of people that are like, I can't believe you're so stupid. Why did you even make this video? Because it's fun. I just wanted to come and have fun with you today. And I thought that this was a great idea, great way to get some modern technology into the old guitar land and just have some fun with you for a few minutes and talk about, and basically kind of point out the fallacy in arguing about this stuff. It's way more fun for all of us. I'm sure there's many of you on the live stream right now who disagree with me about how I feel about some of this stuff. It's totally fine. It's just fun to laugh about it together. We can disagree about it. We can laugh about it together. And that is what this is all about. And so I hope that you can do that some more in some of your guitar communities this evening and tomorrow. And this kind of stuff can be useful if you're trying to figure out why you don't like a piece of gear you have. Well, the problem is, though, is that if the prevailing opinion, not based in any kind of science, doesn't give you any basis. So what I'm saying is everything that we just read was useless because there's no actual basis for any of it. Everything was on subjective opinions that does not... there's very, very few actual facts in anything that we just read. There's very little science. There's some. In some of those answers, we could go through and parse it all out and make an hour and a half out of this. But for the most part, it's just a bunch of conjecture on the internet, right? And so that's what that's what all of this is. That's a bunch of people just bleh and taking it as facts, right? And so why does it even matter? I think I am more excited about what color your guitar is and how loud you're playing and what kind of music you're playing than what you're actually playing. I don't even really care, right? So that's what we should talk about and have more fun with all that stuff. Okay, so that being said, for those of you that stuck to the end with me, I was going to show you a couple of things that we're working on over at Dylan Talks Tone. These are going to be released this weekend. We are going to do some Strat pick guards because we've done Tele pick guards. We're going to do some Strat pick guards. That one right there is a hum. I'm actually making a set of pickups for it that is the matching piece that got cut out of there. So that's going to be pretty cool. There's going to be custom humbuckers. And then, of course, we've got some translucent acrylic here, which is pretty neato for a regular Strat. And then I just cut this just before the live stream. We've got and these are all correct way around. You're just seeing it in the picture wrong. But this is some kind of like translucent wood grain single hum thing. That'd be kind of fun. Super chat from Van Shank Guitars. He says there's a huge placebo effect in all that ad free. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that very much. You guys have a good day. I hope you had fun with this. I'm going to figure out ways to have more fun with this stuff in the future. I kind of even don't care if anybody watches it. I'm having fun. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you tomorrow for the podcast.